Okay, good afternoon. So let's start the class. Still, many of the students are left to join, but we should start. So, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My screen is visible, right? Yeah, I think it's visible. So, today we will discuss something about because I can't show the video from here. What I have tested that, but I think due to some technical problem, video, if required, I will try to share. But before that, we will discuss something about hashing. So before that, I want to tell you that that video is being recorded and attendance will be like I don't have to call attendance. Automatically, there will be a CSV file which will be generated here. I mean, if you see here, it is not showing to you, but from your participants part in my section, I can see whoever has joined your lost time stamp whenever you have joined. So those who are joining automatically they will get the attendance. That is the good thing in Microsoft Teams. And video will be recorded to the cloud. And let's see what when the others will join. So, like I was saying, that today the topic is about hashing and its features. Wait, somebody is trying to join. Most of you have joined from MET email ID. That's okay. Yeah. Now, like I was saying in encryption, there are some problems in encryption. I know that when the data is encrypted, it is in scrambled form, or the data is can't be recognized, or data can't be hacked by outsiders. But still, there are some problems. What about that? The key. The key may be stored somewhere in the server, or maybe sometimes some password can be saved in the server due to some reason. And the key, whether it is a common key for like symmetric or asymmetric, let's say public, private, whatever you are using, like in public encryption, I've said already, public symmetric and asymmetric, both we have discussed in the class. What is there in asymmetric? In asymmetric, there will be a public key, there will be a private key. So the public key means, suppose I have an email ID. I'm giving an example. Everyone knows my email ID. Now you can send anything through my email ID to me, and I can check. And how I can check? Because I have a private key. So you can say that password is my private key. In this way, you can consider. So through password, I can check whoever has sent me the email, whatever things are there. But through public key, what will happen? You can just send me the document. So that is one of the feature of asymmetric encryption, if I say, or asymmetric key or asymmetric cryptography. It can be said in many ways. So don't confuse if the question come in many other way. Please reply if you can see the screen and my sound is audible. Just say yes. Anyone student?
Yes, sir.
So Bhargav, what we are doing now? Are you reading today anything?
सर आपका क्लास कर रहे हैं सर हैशिंग
हाँ वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन इससे पहले कोई क्लास हुआ अभी
हुई
या
तो
मेरा
थी
फर्स्ट
सर
क्लास है?
नहीं सर हुई
अच्छा,
थी
वो
सर 9
क्लास
बजे से जगा दिया इन लोगों ने
कैसा हुआ? क्लास 9 बजे से?
सर इट वाज ओके यूट्यूब देख लिया थोड़ा मजे आ गए
अच्छा, ठीक है. So let's start. So like I was saying, there are many problems in hashing. So why I have opened this Google, because I thought that rather than giving notes, I will give you some real life example on spot, some photo diagram, so that at least something will be clearly you will understand, and accordingly we'll proceed. So as I was saying, in asymmetric or symmetric, there are some problems. Let me show you the picture. So what actually happened in hashing? So sometimes, like I was saying, that you have a key which is stored in the server. Now let's say the key or the password that itself gets hacked, then that is a problem. If the key itself gets hacked from the server, then you don't know that whom to trust, and your data may be compromised. So that's why there may be a process through which that we never ever store the direct password or any kind of key into our system. Is there any process possible? Because in encryption or whatever you do, for encryption and decryption, you use the same key for encryption, again the same key for decryption. So somewhere in the server, the key is stored, on the help of which we can decrypt and encrypt. Maybe in some other way, maybe some different algorithms are there, but common thing is same. That is either it is asymmetric or symmetric. Now, if we do hashing, hashing is much more advanced than we what we commonly say encryption. What is the feature in hashing? The data, which the hashing is a one-way process that uses a mathematical hash function. Like I said here, like you can see here, it's encryption. So there is a plain text. Now the plain text, when it is applied through some encryption algorithm using a key, it is converted into a encrypted text. Ujan, am I audible? Ujan, am I audible to you? Ujan is there in the meeting. Yeah, I can see Ujan, Tenzing, most of them have joined. Ujan, are you there? My sound is audible to you?
Yes, sir. ভালো আছি।
Oh, okay, okay, thank you. What about Tenzing? Tenzing, where are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's excellent. Yes. So it has been found that in DVMS or some kind of special attacks, if you say SQL injection attack, what happened that they somewhere the attackers send some kind of like if you have done DBMS, you'll find lots of commands are there like DDL, DML, data definition language, data manipulation language. So there are various kind of queries are there inside of there. Sometimes we can update some values, sometimes we can create a structure of the table, sometimes we can do some kind of transaction related query. There are so many kinds of query are there in DBMS. Now the thing is that with some query we can insert some, wait, somebody is trying to enter some from some unverified sources. Let me allow them. Oh, now if they do late, what can I do now? Anyways, lots of time is there. Yeah. So let's say DDL, DML, DCL. I think you have done this thing earlier. Now DDL is data definition language, DML is data manipulation language, and DCL is data control. So what is this? Suppose in data definition, I know that you are thinking why I'm telling this DBMS thing here, but don't worry, you will just, it is a part of thing, practical things I want to show rather than much more onto the theory part. So DDL is data definition language where you find we can even create the structure of a database, and that structure has many things that has lots of things to do with your network security, your firewall security, your software security, or any kind of security. Because most of the things we do either is in cloud-based application, and or you can say API, the application programming interface which you use. Nowadays, nothing is fairly fixed up to only in your computer only. It has connection with your remote servers also. So the first priority comes to your data. Data is money. Nowadays, like I said, time is not money, data is money. If you can keep your data safe and secure, because nowadays everything is changing, especially vulnerability is arising every day, and that is because of some loopholes in the data part only. So unless we know how to keep your data safe and secure, we can't think about which network to apply, which topology to apply, which kind of algorithms, DES, AES, whatever is there. That is the second part. So when the thing comes, how to keep our data safe, we must focus on this thing first, like create, alter, drop, truncate. So that means when you are creating a database table, we must use this kind of command, create, to create a new database, like create table name. Okay, now under that you are writing some variables, integer type, your roll number, or varchar string type, or anything is there, your maybe character type, maybe there boolean is there, or apart from that integer, character, boolean, stored, there are many other kinds of variables are there. Some stores 4 bytes, some stores 8 byte, long, double, or in it varies from database to database. For example, you can say SQL server is there, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Mongo database, so many things are there. Create is the very fundamental thing. Then alter. You can change the existing structure of a database. Suppose you have created a database where student roll number is there, student name is there, parents name is there, department ID is there. You can do some modification later on. Drop means you can directly drop the table. If you think you no more needed that, you can drop that table. Truncate to remove all the records. So this is the very vital commands. Now, if this control goes to the wrong hand, you can think what can happen. You can think, suppose it goes to the control wrong hand, how it will go because of network or confidentiality, integrity, authenticity, whatever may be the problem. Somehow the hackers got enter into a system and they got this control. Maybe they can't create. Maybe they can create. It is possible, but they mainly focus on this thing: truncate and drop or alter this thing. They can simply delete all your data. Wait, let me check if the recording is going on or not. Wait. Yeah, the recording is going on because I have also some network problem here. Anyhow, I have managed to share the screen from desktop. Yeah, it is going on. So thing is that now this is the important part. Now next thing comes data manipulation language. It works with the data which you are trying to enter. This is the structure. That means how to create the table, what will be the type of variables, how many records can be deleted at a time, what will be the restrictions you can impose in a day, how many maximum data you can enter. So this is about the structure, like the building structure. Now the inside components of a building, मतलब कहाँ पे क्या रूम होगा, कहाँ पे क्या एडजस्ट करना है वगैरह वगैरह, कि कहाँ पे क्या डिपार्टमेंट होगा, किस फ्लोर में होगा, that is a part of data manipulation. Or maybe you want to change your data also. Today I have given, suppose Somin Chakraborty, or let's say any student, let's say XYZ, Tenzing, okay, Tenzing, your case, your roll number is suppose today, let's say, so I don't know, your roll number was 12. I can update your roll number to 13. I can change your name to, your spelling mistake is there, let's say I can update your spelling. I can change your, so you're transferring to other departments, so I can change that field also. Suppose you are going to CSC or anything. So these kinds of data fields we can change using this data manipulation language. Now, thing is that you may be thinking again why I'm telling this thing database. It has linked with hashing, because hashing has lots of things to do with database. It is nothing about not just up to encryption and decryption. So we must know this. And one question will also come from this about database SQL injection attack. So there also you have to write these answers. And regarding notes, I will give that. Don't worry. So insert. Suppose you want to add some data into a table. How will insert? Let me show you an example. Insert query in SQL. Is this you are not blocking advanced pop-ups? Is it a network attack? No, no, it's I think some kind of pop-up block. Actually, I've installed so many ad blocker in my computer so that I myself do not get hacked, or maybe this kind of problem I should not face. That's why. Let's see in my computer, you can see pop-up blocker, Avast online security, ad blocker, YouTube blocker. I have installed all these things. And
এগুলো অত ভালো না। এগুলো যখন এক্সটেনশন হ্যাক হয়ে যাবে, তোমারও ওটা হ্যাক হয়ে যাবে। তুমি রাদার একটা সিকিউর ব্রাউজার ইউজ করো। ক্রোম অনেক খারাপ।
আচ্ছা, which browser you suggest?
ব্রেভ।
আচ্ছা,
ব্রেভ BRAV।
okay, I will use that.
অটোমেটিক্যালি সব ব্লক করতে থাকে, এক্সটেনশন লাগে না।
Brave is a free browser.
হ্যাঁ, সব ফ্রি।
Okay, definitely I will install. I will try that definitely. And what about Firefox? Firefox is same like Google Chrome or
এখন ডেটা কালেকশন শুরু করে দিয়েছে, ওদের টার্মস অফ সার্ভিসে লেখা আছে।
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. I will install after this class then. And like I was discussing about insert query. Suppose if you want to insert some data into a table, somebody is trying to. No, it's somebody sending a message. Yeah. Suppose this is a table name. Table name is student. So I can insert directly into the table the value. Suppose insert into customer. There is already a table known as customer, and that customers has field like customer ID, customer name, contact name, city. Now you can directly insert value in that table using insert query. Insert into customers, the field, what kind of value you want to enter. You can write values. Customer ID is 92. Customer name is let's say anything. It can be TCS. It can be anything. It can customer contact name is John Doe. City is New York. So it's somebody trying to connect. Yes. So similarly, if it is suppose student table is that insert into student, student name, student ID. So I hope you are getting the point. Through insert, you can enter as many values as you want. This is the feature of insert. Insert into table name, what are the column, then values. Insert into products, product ID, product name, values. Now let's say some malware or hackers have inserted some attack, suppose some kind of cross-site scripting attack, through which many people like us who are doing some transaction online in Flipkart or etc. Or like I said, some fake cloning pages they have created, my Facebook page, which is a fake Facebook page, a website spoofing or any kind of something, some technology through which they've created a fake page. Now, if you try to enter that some data, now you don't know that's fake, but on the backside, what happens? I'm telling you, you enter your data, then what will happen? Being a whether you're a software developer or you are a let's say you are a normal user, the data which you enter, they take those data and convert it into a query, and they will give a shape like this kind of query, and the values will go to the server, Facebook server, and into this query they will give some additional commands which is known as SQL injection attack. Now that query will look like the same query, but the server can recognize sometimes whether it is a genuine query or it is a kind of fake query, or which is injected with some kind of malware. And as a result, without any kind of authentication, without any kind of ID password checking, the data, like millions of people's data who are entering into the any kind of Facebook form or any kind of online form, most of the forms are fake or maybe not highly secured. So those data, perhaps we don't know, but our data is going to some other places. And as this kind of attack is known as SQL injection attack, because that data is going through some malware. So the data is lost. Maybe data is lost, or maybe data can be modified, but a database will be completely modified. Database will be tampered. As a result, the hackers will get access to the database and they can do anything with the data. And you will find that your data is highly encrypted. Maybe they have injected some malware which results in some kind of encrypted data. Now the server administrator itself can't decrypt the data because it is in the control of some outsiders. So you can think that how careful we have to be whenever you are writing queries. So nowadays queries are highly secured, because not only the query part, there are some kind of framework is there. In the framework itself, some locking mechanisms are there. Whether you are a full stack developer, whether you're front end, back end, or you are using, let's say, Spring Boot, Node.js, React.js. I think these terms you have heard, AngularJS. This provides additional features. Why people are using the first is most of them are open source. It is free. You don't need any license. Second is it provides any additional features over the layers of this security. How? Because now I think you've heard the concept like object-oriented programming or any kind of current high-level languages where we have the concept known as encapsulation, polymorphism, same thing which you need to be executed in many places. For example, a man has multiple roles, a program, a big program, a server level program, or you can say, I'm giving you the example of a blockchain technology. Where earlier what happens actually, there was problem like one central server is linked with multiple ledgers. So multiple ledgers means, suppose if you are doing a transaction, if you go to a shop, dukandar ki korbe, the shopkeeper will write your everything in a note document. Now consider this is in digital form. Whatever transaction you are doing, everything it will save like in a ledger form, and so many ledgers are stored in a block of, you can say, block of data, and the block of data is known as actually blockchain. And this block are actually completely highly secure. Actually, if something is modification is done in one block, then the other blocks will also get an intimation notification about that. So it is a very big technology, but it is highly secured. But why people use this? Because of it is decentralization system, decentralized. Earlier it was centralized before blockchain. Somebody discovered blockchain. I can't remember the name. Some Japanese. Uh, Satoshi something name was there. I can't remember whoever it is. So centralized means earlier, it means if server gets damaged, suppose server gets huge load at a time and server gets crashed, then it will impact all the users who has control ledger accounts with that server. For example, you're ordering, let's say, through Swiggy or through Zomato to multiple places. Suppose Dada Bodhi Biryani, uh, Neo Amor, what can I say? You are ordering to any other food centers, 3, 4 food, but all are going through your main server, that is Zomato or Swiggy. Now Swiggy is giving you the service to order, and also it is working as an intermediary between you and that shop, that restaurants. So Swiggy, if you are paying 500, so directly 500 is not going to that Dadabudi biryani. Some part of the money, because of the service which they are giving, this Zomato, Swiggy, they are deducting. The rest money they are giving to those restaurants. So this is how you can say Swiggy system is working, or Zomato, or any company which is working as a mediatory. Nowadays, so many mediatory are there, and the entrepreneurs are told to focus on this kind of technology. Where resources are many, but how you can collaborate those resources, and that will reduce the time between the people like us, customers, and the outsiders, those who are delivering the item. And between there is a intermediary. So the intermediary problem is that, let's say Zomato server gets crashed sometime. You say in Durga Puja, so many people will order at a time. What will happen? Maybe possible that that server may get crashed. You can't guarantee that. And for that time, you can't order. Same case can happen for Swiggy also. So this is kind of, you can say, centralized system. This is not completely highly evolved technology, you can't say. But there are some much higher advanced thing which is there, which kind of I can give, like for e-commerce application like Flipkart everywhere. Here, but decentralized system is there. That means there is nothing called server or any fixed server. You can't say in decentralized, everything is linked with everything. If any kind of problem happens, no problem. There will be a backup comes from the other blockchain. So you can say this is highly secure. And that is because of your highly network security, and that is again linked with your hashing algorithm. Your hashing has lots of things to do with that, which we have initially started. So the SQL injection attack is very much popular nowadays. The SQL injection directly deals with this kind of commands, and it can modify the command, it can tamper the command, it can modify the user data, and it can bypass the authentication. Whether you are using a proxy server, whether you're using VPN, you don't know when it will pull the network, and it will just enter into the server, and it can damage the data. Damage means either it can modify the data, it can delete the data, it can ask you for some money, ransom money. It may not be directly ransomware, but it can encrypt your data, and in return of that it will ask some money, or it can do anything, and control goes into the wrong hand. So I will not discuss much about this database part. So insert is a very important command in DML, because it deals with the data. Suppose in a student in a class for data science, what semester you are? Fifth semester. Suppose 17 students are there. 17 students entry I can do using insert command. I will say it. I have to do it with anybody who is inserting data into a database. They have to do it insert command only. There is no other way. Either you have to write the command, or you can directly do using PHP myadmin. There you don't have to, or like SQL server. What happens in SQL server? Let me show you. There actually you don't have to write the command, but the command automatically generated. It is much more graphical user interface. Your table option will come like databases, as you can see here. You just create the table, automatically table will tell you please give the field name, and these commands will be automatically generated. You don't have to write. This is little bit advanced than writing the commands. Anyway, so in those commands, nowadays commands are much more secure as compared to earlier. Now update. What is update? Now, like I said, I've inserted data Somin Chakraborty, roll number 21, department CSC, and the parents' others name this, phone number is this. Now I thought that my name is spelling mistake is there, my roll number is wrong, my something is wrong. I can modify that using update command. So update command is very much helpful. Update command is again a very important part of data manipulation language. So if the hackers can update the data, so we have to make sure that we are keeping the commands highly secure. How to make it secure? That's the main point that will come very soon. Wait. Now delete. Now delete means your table will not be deleted, but the data from the table will be deleted. Now you can again insert some data into the table, but what data is already there. Suppose you want that roll number 1 will be deleted, roll number 4 will be deleted. So you can do specific deletion also. If you want all of them to be deleted, then you can write that direct delete command. Now, if you want some specific rows to be deleted, you can give some commands where roll number is equals to 6 or roll number between this. There are some keywords which you use between and or you can say or, and there are so many things up there. Accordingly, if server finds that either this or dot or that, either both of them, anything it comes, it will delete. So that depends. Select. Select means now you have a table into a database. Now you want to see how many data still now stored in the database. Maybe 13 rows are there, maybe 17 rows are there, maybe 25 rows are there. You can write select start from table name. It will display all the results. Let me show you. Select start from customer. That means it will display the complete customer table. See, this is the customer ID, first name, last name, age, country. Okay, now if I write select first name and last name from customers, what it will display? Somebody is sending WhatsApp message. Who is that? Wait, no, it's the next class actually. Okay, so what it will display? It will display only the first name and last name. See here, first name is John, last name is Joe, Robert Luna, David Robinson. It can be Soman Chakraborty. It is John Reinhardt. So suppose if you want that only age will be displayed, you can write select age, this part from, this part will be the table name. Now you want that you want to see the complete table, then don't bother. You just write select star. If you write select star from customer, it will display the complete table. Now if you want only the students who have scored more than 80%, only the student whose roll number is between 22 or 23, or only the customer whose ID is between 2 and 3. So you can write some conditions. Select start from customers where customer ID between 2 and 4, or where customer ID is equals to 2. So it will display only this row. So there are various ways we can see the result. It can be, you can see that how the hackers can manipulate the data, and you can't even realize that in how, what are the approaches they have done to change the data. And once it is done, that is very difficult to change the data. Because anyhow the malware gets injected into database, you will find that it will corrupt the complete data. It doesn't matter whether you are applying on insert, whether you are applying update, delete, select. It will hamper all the data in your database. So we must take special security, special measures to protect our data, and that has lots of things to do with network security. Now I have a question to you. Just give a small pause. Anybody has any suggestion how to protect that data secure in a network? Because everything is a network now. Everywhere we are accessing internet. So everywhere we have to keep our network secure through some protocols, through some strategies. Now, you have any suggestions, specific suggestions through which we can keep our data secure so that this data can't be modified, especially from SQL injection attack? Anyone? You can say anything if you have any suggestion, like Bharat. Yeah, please.
পার্স করে দেব একটা বলে না
Okay.
কমেন্ট করা যায় ড্যাশ দিয়ে ওইগুলো একটা স্পেশাল ক্যারেক্টার্স চেঞ্জ করা যায়, ওটা তখন %20 হয়ে যায়, স্পেস দিলে %20 হয়ে যায়, আর ড্যাশ দিলে %24 হয়ে যায়।
Do you want to share your screen? Ujan, do you want to share your screen or do you just want to tell? Do you want to share your screen? Just asking. Or you can explain, no problem. Or keep on. Please explain. If you want to just explain, no problem. Okay, no problem. You explain. Parsing, what you are explaining, please explain how we can use parsing mechanism to keep our data secure. Please. Ujan? কোথায় গেল উজান? Are you there? উজান বেরিয়ে গেছে নাকি? Okay. Bhargav, do you want to say anything? Anyone? How we can keep our database secure? It's just a general knowledge kind of question you can answer. Yeah.
Using parsing specifically, are you saying, or sir, like in general, you're asking, sir, how to keep data secure?
Anything, anything you say. How we can protect our data secure?
So we can
Network.
use firewalls, sir. We can use firewalls that will block the unauthorized traffic. You can use IDS, IPS, so that attacks are detected. And in basics, our data backup will help us, ensure that any sort of attack happens, even though we have data backed up, so that there is some recovery process.
That can attack SQL injection kind of attack. Or if I say like most of the attack of SQL injection is not mostly from this network or firewall or whatever you are saying, IPS, IDS. This scripting attacks actually, the data which you are entering in a form, and that forms are actually not the genuine form, that is actually fake, and those data can be misused to get entry into the database by injecting some malware into the commands by the attackers. Now from those point of view, I'm saying how to protect the data. I think he is there right now. Ujan, please continue the parsing. Ujan, are you
ওটা
there?
প্রিপেয়ার্ড ইউজ করা যায়, হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Yes, please explain.
যখন
Continue.
পিএইচপি দিয়ে
RTP.
একজন ফর্মে এন্ট্রি করবে, তখন ওই কানেকশনটাকে প্রিপেয়ার দিয়ে একটা ফাংশন আছে, যদি কেউ সিলেক্ট স্টার ফ্রম ইউজার্স লিখে দেয়, তখন ওটাকে প্যারামিটারাইজ করে বন্ধ করা যায়।
Okay. Okay. Any other answer? You want to add anything more in Ujan? Ujan, anything more you want to say? Or
আর ওটা সবসময় এইচটিটিপিএস ইউজ করতে হয়, কারণ এখনকার দিনে সবসময় অনেকজন এইচটিটিপিএস ইউজ করে, কিন্তু কিছু কিছু ছোট ছোট ওয়েবসাইট আছে যারা সিকিউর জিনিসটা ইউজ করে না, ওটা ট্রান্সপোর্ট লেয়ার সিকিউরিটি ইউজ করতে হয়।
okay.
পোর্ট 80 ভার্টিক্যাল হয়, ওটাই বলছি।
Okay. And other students, anybody wants to say anything? Bhargav, what is your opinion? Bhargav, Tenzing.
Yes, sir. Opinion on what, sir?
SQL
You say
injection.
something. Say
Sir,
what is your opinion about this? Yeah. See, you don't have to say anything. I mean, maybe think anything. Whatever you know, you can share. It is just a kind of knowledge sharing. Everybody can share their knowledge, whatever you have gathered in the real life, any experience, whatever, any seminar, in conference, internship or training. We will all know that whatever. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you know, anybody just say yes.
sir,
Continue.
we can maybe like add a layer which like validates and puts like if someone did inject SQL, we can like put it in a layer which requires like a higher authorization to proceed, so that if it's anything malicious, we can just reject the injection.
Okay. That's a good point. Yeah, so let's continue then. Tenzing, you want to say anything? Tenzing?
No, sir.
Okay. Ankit? Ankit, are you there? I think Ankit has a network problem. Shanvi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like I was saying, there are many kinds of query. Now select query we have discussed. Next is, now this is data control. Data control language generally we don't use that much. It is actually used for like trigger, cursor, these kind of things are there in database. It is mainly used by the server administrators or system administrator who has very the good term is can database administrator. Sorry, I was mute. Now am I audible? Yes, I think it is audible. I was mute actually. I think muted by someone I don't know. Anybody hacked into my system? Please don't hack. I'm repeating. I'm just explaining. So it will be a problem. I don't know
এখানে
how I got.
তুমি প্রেজেন্টার মোডে তো নেই, সবাই তো অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটর পারমিশন আছে এখানে।
উজান
আচ্ছা,
ঠিক করে দে সেটিংটা একটু।
আমি কি করে আমি তো পারি না ওটা,
না না ঠিক
ওটাই
আছে।
আমি জানি।
এখন ঠিক হয়ে গেছে।
না ঠিক হয়নি স্যার।
এতক্ষণ যা যা বলেছি তুমি এখন শুনতে পাচ্ছ তো?
স্যার এখানে
আমি
স্যার
audible-
মিউট পার্টিসিপেন্টের অপশন আসছে স্যার, তুমি ওটা চেঞ্জ করে
স্যার
দাও।
দেখো আমাকে একজন মিউট করে দিল।
এনিওয়ে সি আমাকে মিউট করে,
Start
ভিডিওটা
করে দিন।
রেকর্ড হচ্ছে আপাতত। আর কিছুক্ষণই ক্লাসটা বাকি আছে, তারপরে আমি সেটিংসটা চেঞ্জ করে দিচ্ছি। আপাতত till now what I have said about database that was audible, right? At that time it was mute for last 20 minutes.
কি বলেছে
Have you heard
তারপর
that?
শুনতে পাইনি।
Okay. So let's
তোমাকে আবার মিউট করে দিল।
don't mute. Otherwise it will create a problem in attendance. This video is recorded, like I say, it will go to the server. It will not stored in my computer. It will go to MET server. So please don't unmute. You just listen. If you want to listen, you just listen. And accordingly the CSV file I will download from here, and after that I will give the attendance. Hardly কিছু time বাকি আছে, so just listen, don't worry. Now we use most of the time cursor and trigger. If you know cursor and trigger in database, it is a very important part. What exactly we do in cursor trigger? Sometimes we are doing a batch processing or multiple transactions at a time. If any kind of failure happens, now it is not possible that you should again go back to the original stage. It is not possible, because let's say you have done thousands, 50,000, 1 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, so many transactions you have done at a time. Now, if in case any error comes, and if you detect that there is some kind of malicious system, a malicious file into the system or database, now the only way you can go back is that rollback, or you can use this grant command or revoke command. It is a kind of thing. Suppose if you have any system failure or your operating system failure, you will find that it will give us an option that data backup, or data backup will go to some previous stage, and that previous stage is defined either by you or by the administrator, that from this part to that part, our last 88 hours, whatever transactions happen, it will go back to original form, but that will take time. So that's why this kind of command that normally we generally use, it is used by the database administrators. But people like us, normal software developers, who are like you can say writing code, front end also, back end also, database also, very popularly nowadays they themselves say as full stack development. Now if you say the full stack development, full stack developer technology, now you find that either they are using HTML, CSS, JavaScript or JavaScript library, or Node.js, or maybe React.js, AngularJS, and the database, or maybe Python. There are so many things out there, or maybe ASP.NET. So nowadays it has or linked up. So many softwares are in a framework. Okay, and in that case, how to protect yourself from DOS attack. This is a very important thing. So in that case, we will find we generally use these commands only: create, alter, insert, and update. Mostly we use these four commands very popularly, and these four commands have to be very much highly secure. Otherwise, our network may get hacked, and that is the reason when the users are entering the data, we must make sure that they are entering the data which is not highly sensitive data, and that kind of data we should not be used for either insert operation, or we can't use for any kind of where we can't apply the alter or create. This kind of further commands we can't apply on that data. So that is a different thing. That is a development part. We should not discuss that much. Now the main point I was discussing, hashing. So if you come to hashing, now as you can see how our database is highly insecure. Even if you save your password, that can be hacked. Even if you mute yourself, somebody can unmute you, even after proper settings. Even if you keeping some key in your system. Okay, I got the point. I will apply. Don't go, because just now let me complete the class. Then thanks for your suggestion. Yeah. So there must be a way through which we can do. That is the hashing. Hashing can be applied using hashing algorithm. So that means the hashing digest code, or the hashing code, or the hashing value. It can be known as in many different ways. What is hashing? What is hashing algorithm? What is hash code? What is digest code? What is SHA-1? Now hashing has many. Yeah, please. Any question? Okay,
No,
no
sir.
question. Yeah. So digest code means, that means now hashing has a limitation. Now how much you can digest? Suppose I am giving you food which you can't digest. So depending on the size of your text, now it is about text. Now think about, there can be a video, there can be a audio file, there can be music file. So we can apply various kind of encryption technology, how to encrypt a video, how to encrypt a music, how to encrypt some other file. It is not the question of only plain text. Now in my computer also I can apply some cryptographic software. Now thing is that we will discuss with some plain text only. So hashing is a process through which this plain text will be. Okay, first before discussing the hashing, we must discuss the encryption. Now you know, in a plain text we apply the encryption technology, then it converts into a encrypted text. Now that same text again we can get back into plain text. The chances are there, 100% probability is there. Yes, Jayaprakash, what's your question? Any
No,
problem,
sir, I
Jayaprakash?
just clicked the option. No, sir, nothing.
Okay. So the plain text which we have started, now the plain text has an ending phase. The plain text, what is the ending? Before going through all encryption and decryption process, we are finally getting the plain text. This is the possibilities there in encryption, and that is the reason যখন কিছু আশা থাকে তখন তার নিরাশাও থাকতে পারে। যেরকম তুমি आशा করছো তুমি एग्जाम में तुम आशा कर रहे हो तुम एग्जाम में अच्छा मिलोगे, रिजल्ट मिलेगा, लेकिन उसका दूसरा साइड भी अगर नहीं मिले तो क्या होगा, तब तो निराश हो सकते हो। तो इसका मतलब तुम्हें इसका बैकअप प्लान भी सोचना पड़ेगा। Similarly, what attackers can do, they can apply many kind of brute force technology, dictionary attacks, cryptanalysis techniques, or any kind of cryptocurrency techniques. Many techniques are there. It is not just about network security. It is a very big topic, and all the possibilities are there to get back your plain text or data which is there. Now for that I have already said, sometimes they have the only private key, they don't have the data. Sometimes they have the data and algorithm knowledge, but they don't have the key. So they can apply some technology. बट अब अगर ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी को ही मार दे, मतलब तुम्हारे पास अभी एक पैर है इसलिए तुम चल रहे हो, अभी अगर ऐसा तुम्हारे पास पैर ही नहीं है तब तुम्हारे पास सभी आशा ही खत्म हो जाएगा। इस तरह का कुछ चीज है। दैट इज समथिंग आउट हैशिंग। नाउ इन हैशिंग इज अ टेक्निक थ्रू व्हिच यू कांट एवर गेट द ओरिजिनल डेटा। दैट इज द थिंग। एक बार जो हो गया एनक्रिप्ट, although that is a kind of encrypt, this hash text which will be generated is a kind of encrypted text, but like this kind of thing will be there. It is also some kind of scrambled unreadable form, meaningless. But the good thing is that this hash text can't be again get back into original plain text. But for encryption technology, we can get back the data into original form using decryption. That is the good thing. And this is the only difference between encryption and hashing. This is a very important question, encryption versus hashing. So this question will come around, wait, 5 marks. So let me read the answer. So what is the difference between encryption and hashing? Hashing is to ensure the integrity and authenticity of data. What is encryption? To protect and confidentiality and secrecy of data. What is hashing? To ensure the integrity and authenticity of the data. What is process? A one-way irreversible. See, irreversible is the exact term, perfect term for hashing. That means what's done, it can't be undone. What's done क्या है? इसको तुम hashing algorithm में hash function लगा के इसको hash text बन गया है. Now you can't again go back. But for encryption, it is, you can again get back the data in original form even after encryption. How? Using decryption. So this is the only big difference between hashing and encryption. So hashing is a one-way irreversible cryptographic function. So irreversible cryptographic function that converts input data into fixed length called a hash value. So it's a very crystal clear definition. I think everybody is understanding this. It converts the input data into a fixed length, that is a hash value. And what is that hash value? Something like this, which is also known as hash text, hash digest, or more or less these things, these three terms. And digest value, now hash digest can differ from size to size. अगर बड़ा data है तो उसका digest value ज़्यादा होगा. Now how to control that? To control that, there are many kinds of technologies, SHA-1, SHA-2. Those are the types of, you can say, hashing algorithm. Which one is suited for how many bits? Some is suitable for limited bits. Some is suitable for a large number of bits. So that depends on which technology you want to apply. Is it secure hash algorithm 1, SHA-1, whether it is secure hash algorithm 2? And that is for that, there is a very good video is there, which I will show tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I mean next class. If it is any kind of physical class, I'll definitely show you the video, because I thought today to show you the video from here, but what I can see, there is some sound problem which is happening from my computer, and my laptop has some problem actually. So don't worry, I will show you the video when the right times comes. We must focus on, after a long time we are discussing some theory related things, especially on this hashing. Yeah, next difference क्या है? Reversibility. Reversibility में क्या है? It cannot be reversed to retrieve the original data. You never ever reversed. You can't use this hash text to get the plain text. That is the thing in hashing algorithm. But इसमें क्या है? Tenzing, are you getting the point? Tenzing, I have a question to you. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, forget. I will not discuss the question today. You are listening. That's sufficient. That's good. I know everybody is listening. No problem.
Yes, sir.
And so, yeah, in encryption, what we can do? It is reversible. It can be reversed back to its original form using the appropriate decryption key. So it is again crystal clear definition. Here you can reverse back to original form using the appropriate decryption key, but it can't be reversed to the original data. Next, in hashing does not require keys. That is again a very big advantage. Hashing में दो बड़ा advantage है. एक है irreversible and do not require keys. Now key की वजह से this encryption decryption is not completely secure, because key means you are storing somewhere in the server. Maybe you don't know, but your server knows. Whoever has created the encryption technology algorithm, initially they have created some key. It is like something when you are doing a first time sign up in Google. From here, like I have an account here. Now I can create a new account. When I do the registration, etc. My that time my password etc. is somewhere stored in the server. That is the reason next time whenever I do Gmail login for any computer, it first check that whether my password is matches with the password which is stored in the server at the time of creation. That password is same as at the time of login. Similarly, in hashing, same. In hashing, it will check the hash code which is created at the time of applying the hashing algorithm first time. That hashing code or digest code is same as currently when I'm doing the login using some password. That password is converted into again into to some hashing algorithm, and it generates again a digest code, and that digest code or hashing code is same as it is stored in the server. When these two digest code matches, then only you will be allowed to log in. This is the biggest advantage of hashing. So the good thing is that you don't have to store the password anywhere into the system. It is just like a hashing code, and through hashing code, no hackers can ever guess that what is the password. Now there is a disadvantage here. I have heard there are some technology. It is right now it is available, but there is very much advanced technology through which we can get back at least some possibility, some information we can get about the plain text. And that the chances are very less. At least hashing is much more secure than the encryption, decryption, plain encryption, decryption technology. Now getting back hashing to plain text with some technology it is possible. Some part, some information, some clue you can get that we'll discuss in the further topics when we'll further proceed in the advanced module. I mean module 4, etc. into web security. So in hashing we don't require keys. So key means you need to store in the server, and that is a brute force attack can happen to leak out or get a leakage, or somebody can get the password to enter this into the to apply the decryption, etc. Because you know you need to you need must be have a key to apply that decryption algorithm. Next is in encryption, what is there? It requires keys, either a single key. Okay, I think class time is over, or class time abhi ekhon ache.
Yes, sir. Class time over.
ওভার, হ্যাঁ over.
কেন তুই ক্লাস
যদি
করবি আর
না
বলবি
করে
না?
আমাকে বল, যদি করতে
আজকে
চাও আমি
নিয়ে কি
বলতে
extra
পারবো।
হলো?
মিটিংটা
right
অটোমেটিক্যালি
now
5 মিনিটে করতে হবে।
তো আচ্ছা অটোমেটিক্যালি হয়ে যাবে, তাহলে 5 মিনিট আমি টেনে দিয়ে আসবো। Don't worry, just 5 minutes. I request to everyone just 5 minutes. I think if you have any class, then you can say from, I think it's just 5 minutes, just wait. So encryption require keys, either a single key for symmetric encryption or pair of keys for asymmetric encryption. So if you're using this encryption technology, you must have a key. But for hashing, you don't need any key. Next case, kya hai? Use cases. Verifying file downloads, check password matches, ensure blockchain integrity. This is the real life example. Here, securing sensitive data over internet. Now, in hashing, I can tell you a real life example. You will find that some file you try to enter, it will ask a password. That is a good example of hashing. Because in that technology, what happens, you know, your file along with the hashing code, actually a file along with the hashing code that goes to the receiver, and the receiver, they have to enter, if the receiver is a genuine receiver, they have to enter again the password, and if the password matches with the hash code with the sender has sent, if both those password matches, then only you can open the file. So this is one of the real good example of hashing, where the file we generally download that asks for password, and on spot that password will check, and the password actually converts into the hash code, and the sender's hash code and matches with your hash code, then only you can check. And even in blockchain technology, these things is very much used. So hashing has a very much advantage. It is not just about you can say data security, it has lots of application. So one day we can discuss about applications only. So this is the difference. The today's key points is that what is hashing, or the difference between hashing and encryption. This question I will give in any exam, I mean internal 2 or in your main exam. So don't forget. So keep this to the point, at least the question of every class in your copy. Don't write the answer, so that it will good for you to do preparation. Yeah, I don't need to take attendance. I have already the inbuilt attendance. Automatically যখন লগ আউট হয়ে যাবে আমার গুগল টিম থেকে, মানে মাইক্রোসফট টিম থেকে, অটোমেটিক্যালি একটা এক্সেল শিট জেনারেট হবে, CSV file. That CSV file will show the complete attendance, how many students have entered, there's email ID, so I don't need to call attendance. So don't worry. That file I will upload in the Amazon and you will get the attendance. That's why I'm not calling the attendance.
স্যার যারা যারা জয়েন করেছে ইমিডিয়েটলি তাদের নাম চলে আসে ওই ফাইলটাতে?
একদম একদম একদম।
বাহ স্যার,
আমি
ভালো
বলবো
system।
নামগুলো, আমি তো
একটু স্যার
হ্যাঁ,
একটু
my
নামগুলো
Teams
বলে
আছে।
দিলে।
আচ্ছা দাঁড়াও দাঁড়াও বলছি, ওয়েট, আমি এটা আমার অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটর অ্যাক্সেসটা মোবাইল থেকে আছে, দাঁড়াও। আচ্ছা আমি ক্লাসটা ক্লোজ করছি এখানে, তো ওদের নামগুলো আমি বলছি, শুনতে থাকো। আর যদি আমি নাম বলছি, কোথায় গেল
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
গুগল পার্টিসিপেন্টস। আর দেয়ার সবাই আছো তো?
Yes, sir.
সবাই আছে।
আচ্ছা অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা শোনো, আমি বলছি অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স ফাইলটা জেনারেট হচ্ছে, দাও। পুরো ক্লাসটা হয়েছে 11, এক সেকেন্ড এটা না, আমি কোনটাতে ক্লিক করে দিলাম, অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স। আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, না এই ফাইলটা না অ্যাকচুয়ালি কি বলতো, ফাইলটা এখন যেহেতু মিটিংটা চলছে, রেকর্ড হচ্ছে না, এটা যেই শেষ হয়ে যাবে তখন আসবে এই সিটটা জেনারেট হবে। এটা আমি
সেটা
তখন
যদি
যে
না হয়
সিটটা
তাহলে
জেনারেট হবে
কিভাবে অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স দেবে?
একদম হবে, তোমাদের অফিসিয়াল গ্রুপে আমি শেয়ার করব, ঠিক
ও
আছে?
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে ঠিক
দেখতে
আছে।
পাবে
হুম।
এটা অটোমেটিক্যালি আগের দিনও জেনারেট হয়েছিল আমার কোর
ও
যাওয়ার ক্লাসে, এখন এটা লাইভ চলছে বলে, এটা এন্ড না হলে এটা
ঠিক আছে।
জেনারেট হবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ, আমি এক্ষুনি পাঠাচ্ছি তোমাদের গ্রুপে। ওকে,
ঠিক আছে,
ওকে স্যার,
থ্যাংক
থ্যাংক
ইউ
ইউ
স্যার।
স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ। হ্যাঁ স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ
Thank you,
ভেরি
sir.
মাচ।